Are you looking for tips on how to master that perfect chaturanga? Or maybe as you're practicing chaturanga, it's just not feeling right in your shoulders and arms. Or maybe you've been doing chaturanga for a while and you're just wondering, where's those amazing triceps everyone's been telling me about? If so, this yoga hack chaturanga video is for you. So let's do some learning. Let's go through the genuine ranges of motion that your arm is supposed to go through in chaturanga. So when we come up to that 90 degrees here in that plank position, our humerus is externally rotated while our forearm is internally rotated, leading to a supinated hand, in which you're able to flip up and press into the ground, making that nice strong plank form. Now, as we go through chaturanga, because we have that force in the hand and the floor, that limits the range of motion in our forearms, and it fights to stay in that internal rotation. And as we press back and we start going through 60, that externally rotated humerus will go more internally rotated, bringing that arm right next to the chest, leading to that nice, strong, low plank position. And then as we press, like I said, still internally rotated, that arm will externally rotate again as you come out. And so that is the genuine range of motion you need to really get into a good chaturanga, especially one that works your triceps. So there's many things that happen though. So when you might have been in a yoga class before, where while you're in plank, they cue you to rotate the pits of your elbows towards the front of the mat in that plank or before coming down through that chaturanga. Technically, this cue is correct because it's getting you into the range of motion that you need, that internal rotation, before you reach down. Now, this can cause problems though, because when you are in this 90-degree angle, your humerus does want to be a little bit more externally rotated. And so if you force it into internal rotation, you're forcing it into a range of motion that it doesn't want to be in naturally, and then bringing it down. And that ends up really stealing your tricep work, because your triceps work most when it's doing that natural rotation in the natural range of motion, which is in motion as you're going down. So we want to go from that externally rotated position internally on the way down and then reversing it on the way up. So that is what our hacks are going to be addressing today. So the reason why we are not able to do this, or how I should say, the type of compression, how compression affects us, goes like this. So we usually have a favored side, and then we lean into it. So we bring our rib cage closer to our belt line on one side. This typically is on the right side. So I'll be cueing to my right side. So this shifts your shoulders over, where your left shoulder blade is a little bit closer to your spine, and your right shoulder blade, or the side you're leaning into, is going away from your spine a little bit more. So what this does is it brings your left hand, in this case, more closer to your chest, and then brings your hand more into that supinated position that we're looking for. And then on the other side, your arm is more externally rotated with your hand trying to go palm face up. So kind of like this is the more exaggerated portion. So then if we take this and then we go into those chaturanga, this arm's still not in that genuine range of internal rotation, but it's closer. And then we have the other arm that's obviously in more external rotation. So then when you come down, your shoulder blades are trying to shift to get out of that compensation, or trying to compensate for not having that range of motion. And that's where you start tweaking your shoulders and things like that as you come down. So because of this, that's why there's some brands of yoga, especially ones that are more related to physical therapy, that just say, bring your elbows out and just do that push-up position. Always do your push-ups more at a 45 degree, even your chaturangas. And that is good advice, especially if you've already tweaked something, because if you have a wonky range of motion, you need to actually work in your range of motion or you're going to pull something. But that doesn't get you back your genuine range of motion, and that's not going to get you the most out of your triceps or that upper body work that we're looking for by doing chaturangas. So our hacks are going to address that by helping shift those shoulder blades back, so starting to get that genuine range of motion back in the shoulders. We'll also be opening up our posterior capsule where our humerus meets our shoulder blade. There's like tissue there that can get locked up, so we'll release that so our shoulder blades can move. And then we will strengthen our triceps in relationship to our forearms with that supinated hand, because our forearms and the relationship of our fingers is really important to have that ground contact to be able to tell your upper arm what to do to be able to get that proper chaturanga and tricep activation. And then we'll have our mobility drill that will kind of work it all together in a more dynamic, fun way. So let's go to our posture and breath hack. So we're just going to start in a comfortable seated position, just right where we are, finding both of our sit bones. We're going to start on our right side. So this posture and breath hack is going to be releasing compression posteriorly and anteriorly in our chest to help us get that genuine range of motion of that internal rotation. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring our right arm out to the side and then out to the front, keeping your collarbone where it is. Try to slightly reach forward with that arm to kind of get a little bit of rounding here. So we're not hunching forward, we're just getting that light round in the shoulder. And then we're going to flip our palm so it's facing out to the side. And we're going to bend our arm to 90. We're going to bring our hand right on behind here. So this has got that good range of motion. So this is externally rotated, this is internally rotated. We got the supinated hand. So from here, we're going to grab here, and then we're going to take it over to the side. Now we're not trying to stretch our tricep here. We're trying to get that corner right here in the shoulder. So it should almost feel like a bony stretch. So from here, we're going to find each of our sit bones, and we're going to inhale, and you're going to feel the space between the shoulder blade and your spine open, and more importantly, you're going to feel the left side, the left chest opening. So it's opening diagonal, right, left, chest, right, back. And then you're going to exhale. So each inhale, feel that expansion. Each exhale, bring that both rib cages down to belt line, root into that left hip a little bit more. And then if you want one more add-on, you can think about turning slightly, keeping that arm in place so you're not like moving it necessarily, but just slightly turning this collarbone towards the arm as you breathe. So inhale, feel that expansion. Exhale, rooting into that left hip sit bone. And you only need to do this like 5 to 10 times, 5 to 10 breaths here to release that compression. We'll do 2 more rounds of breath here. Inhaling, exhaling, last one. Inhale, exhale. So that's our right side. And now we'll set up on the left side. Now the left side is actually where we need it a little bit more, the bony stretch part. So bringing it out, forward, round, then that nice long line here at the elbow, pulling it over, trying to feel that bony stretch. And then again, so this time left back shoulder blade, right front of the chest. So inhale, opening up that right side front of that chest. Exhale, rooting down into that right sit bone. So this is one that you can do pretty much anywhere to get that expansion in your upper body, watching TV. I even do it sometimes when I'm driving, bringing my elbow towards the steering wheel, rooting into the other side of the hip bone when I'm sitting at lights and stuff. One more. And we'll release, roll that out. So that's our posture and breath hack. And now we'll move on to our strength hack. So our strength hack, you can use an optional block and weight, though you don't need them. So we're going to be basically taking that same position that we were just using to help expand to do our expansion. And now we're going to add some strength to it. So we're going to be coming on our back. I'm going to come over by the wall so I can show you how to use this. And then just to give you a reference point so you can kind of see how my arm is lined up with the wall. This is a very tricky move to get into. It's kind of nice when you have someone around that can come touch your elbow for you. But we're going to come down onto our backs. We're going to extend that arm up long like we were doing seated, turning that palm to face. You can think about like turning your elbow out to the side. But we're trying to get a stack, shoulder and elbow, going straight up towards the sky. Hand, nice long line here. You do not want to lose that nice long hand. So you can use another hand to come right here behind here, and then you can drop it down and lift it up. You want to only go up as far as you can keep that long line, palm facing down. If you go much higher than this, your hand's going to want to do that, and then you're losing the work. You're going to lose the strength work. So you're going to want to stop and coming down. So you're almost like coming down towards your face a little bit and lifting up. So here's how you can use the props. So you can use your hand here, but it's very easy to like slide around and cheat without a mirror. So if you bring a yoga block next to a wall, you can come and get your tricep pressing against it so you have a reference point. And then you flip your palm facing down, and then you bring it down and then you push it up. And then this kind of increases the strength work because you have something to press against while doing that. And then you can add the weight. Now, you do not need a lot of weight. I do not suggest a lot of weight for this move. This is 3 pounds, and this is pretty good. Like, this can cook people like 5 pounds and under. So you might need to start with no weight, and then others, especially if you've never actually gotten that full engagement in your tricep before. So just lifting up and down, and then you just want to do like 12 on each side. Make sure you're checking in with your neck, trying to get that. So this is my left arm, left shoulder blade down on the mat. Relaxing that neck. Don't let your neck stabilize you. And then you should feel this pretty quick. But you can do up to like 12 to 16 if you want to, working up, maybe 3 sets of them. Let's do a couple more on this side. And release, and then hopefully you have felt that engagement right here in your triceps, in that relationship with that forearm. So getting that line that you need in your forearm for that movement in that chaturanga. So I'm going to switch. I'm just going to come so you can see it on the side while I do the other arm. But you, just to get you a different angle, but you reach that arm up, palm facing the side. Rotating that pit of the elbow out to the side, bringing it down, elbow stacked over shoulder, bringing it down towards your face and back up, keeping that long line, stopping before your hand wants to flip out. So that's what it looks like from the side here. Adding that weight. I forgot to do breath cues on the other side, but you can think about inhaling as it comes down, exhaling as it comes up. So inhaling, You're getting that little posterior expansion there. Exhaling, bringing that rib cage down. See how my arm kind of moves around without the support? But then that's what we want, though, is to be able to build up to we're away from the wall and being able to like support this. You can also do this standing, like with a hand leaning against the wall, and then do it from that angle too, if you don't want to get down on the floor. Let's do a couple more here. And then that is our strength pack. So hopefully you felt that in your triceps, because that's where we're going, trying to get that work right there. And now we'll move on to our mobility hack, which we're going to do a revolving thread the needle into thread the needle. So we're going to come up onto all fours. You're going to take your hand out to the side, lifting it tall. Think about stacking your shoulder blades, using that inhale to pull that top shoulder blade back a little bit more. And then we're going to take it down, thread the needle, bend that elbow. Think about bending that elbow forward, stacking it more over your wrist as you come through. Don't rest, and up. So inhale, pulling, exhale, through. Or you can inhale here. Inhale at the top is more important. But we're just going to do that a couple of times. And then we'll hold here 3 breaths. Inhale, pulling your shoulder blade back a little bit more. Inhale. And inhale. And then threading that needle, going out as far as you can, resting that shoulder blade down. We're going to walk that upper arm up above our head and press it firmly into the mat. So we're trying to get that capsule stretch in both sides. So behind there, you can definitely probably feel it after the other one, and then getting that lat stretch on that top arm. Just a couple of breaths here, and we'll come on up, and then we'll go to the other side. So bringing that arm up, lift, lift, inhale, bringing it down, bringing it up, using your inhale to pull that shoulder blade back. Holding it up. The next time you're up, 3 breaths, inhale, pull that shoulder blade back a little bit more. Last one, inhale, exhale, thread the needle, reach, reach, reach as far as you can, dropping that shoulder down, releasing that ear down, walking that hand above your head, pressing firmly into that hand. So we're getting that stretch in the back of the shoulder and that capsule from 2 directions, while also getting our lats. Walking up out of it, there's the mobility exercise. So we'll go through our Chaturanga, and while we're doing our Chaturanga, we'll have a bonus ability to check your form in your Chaturanga without a mirror. All you need is a block. So actual form, when you're going down to your Chaturanga, your wrist needs to be stacked underneath your elbow at the bottom. It's very easy to end up with like chicken wings, like where you're got this weird thing going on, but it's not good for your joints. So when you're going down, you want to be able to go down here. And to be able to do that, you need to be able to press forward to stack more, which really, really works your forearms and that ability to internally rotate so your hand can supinate like this. So being able to shift forward here and back, that is a good first form exercise. And then when you come here, you should progress it maybe knees under hips first, so you can come down really pressing into the ball of that pointer finger, ball of your little finger, bringing it down and up. So, I mean, if you go just in regular form, you will feel your triceps kick in a lot more, even if you've been doing Chaturanga for 10 years. So here's where the block comes in. You bring it here, and then you stack that shoulder, elbow right next to the block. So that way you shift forward, if you come down, you're doing it correctly, the block stays there. Now, if you're going to chicken wing it and you're going to bring your elbows back, you're going to knock that block, and then I'll let you know. So let's go through, let's do that Chaturanga, cueing it, going through it, proper tote, with all those proper rotation cues. So coming up into that plank, shifting that weight forward, nice firm hands, ball pressing into the ball of your pointer finger, ball of your little finger, lowering it down, internally rotating that upper arm, coming down, externally rotating it on the way up. And there you have it, Chaturanga. So I hope that helped. Please check out the rest of our yoga playlist. Feel free to comment to let me know if you wanted what other kind of hacks that you might want. Just please check out the video, like, subscribe, all those good things. So I hope that helped, and I hope to see you in another video.